EU Challenger, as we have another game for you guys. Didn't take very long. Game 4 between Snute and Guru. And Todd, the score is
2-1 for Guru. He blew Snute up with a couple Zerglings and Banelings in the previous game. And now looking to try and advance. So
the Polish players are just taking over. I have no idea what's happening. I mean, it's happening again. It happened in Tours last year. But perhaps we're going to see it all over again.
They can only be beaten by another Polish player.
Or perhaps he can bring it back, representing Liquid, spawning in the left bottom side. He's down 1-2. It's Snute.
Maybe the Polish skill surpasses the Team Liquid's team kills in this case, because the winner of this will go up against your Thermal, remember?
Who's definitely not Polish. But he is Dutch.
No, he certainly didn't make second place in Nation Wars now, did he?
No, we didn't, Todd. Todd, I'm spinning. Introduce the players.
Starting in the bottom right-hand side of the map, playing as the Blue Zerg, it is Guru.
Who opened up pretty aggressively as his pool is already done. And he's been mining 100 gas. We know that Guru likes to be aggressive. Since you always ask me, Todd, like, have I played against this guy lately or that guy? I played against Guru a couple times, and he shows zero mercy. He literally just throws down a hatch and he makes nothing but links, and then I die. And it's really sad. Like, my 2 adepts get caught out and I die.
He used to do that for a long time, actually. He used to have this loading build where, like, you know, back in the days where Protoss were still playing very differently, he would go for 2 hatchery before pull, then pull, no gas, and just falling and flood you on your second base. And it was actually quite hard to defend against. It kind of feels like you needed to know it was coming and then just make exactly enough units, have the clutch defense.
Well, this could be a little bit tricky for Snute as well, even though his spawning pool is done and his speed is on the way as well. But if you take a look at the speed timings, you can clearly see that the speed of Guru is roughly 30-35 seconds ahead of the speed of Snute. Snute does have that 6 worker advantage. Meanwhile, these links from Guru are taking the detour of the century. Of course, you do this to avoid the overlords in the middle of the map.
I believe Guru beat Daishi as well to qualify there, so that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I saw the tweet.
We all saw it.
So Baneling Nest is morphing in. Defensively now for Snute, it's very important, of course, that this Baneling Nest survives. Queen position is going to be important as well. I feel like Snute knows what's up. He's going to see the links now, Todd. He knows that speed is done, and Guru is coming for him. Can the Liquid Zerg defend without taking too many losses?
He's going to send these drones elsewhere. The 2 queens going to be a key here in defending. If Snute can reach a couple of Banelings, he would do great against this. But Guru's going to engage before there is maybe enough Zerglings. The 2 queens doing a ton.
Do you think that Guru could maybe get the Baneling Nest or no? That's not going to be possible. But one of the queens is taking quite a bit of damage. Thought 1 queen will fall. The second queen is going to fall as well. 2 drones have gone down already. But now Snute does have quite a few links out. So losing the queens, obviously painful. But I think it's safe to say that went all right for Snute, right?
He's ahead in walkers. Sure, he lost 2 drones. Behind this, though, I guess Guru is on 2 queens against just the 1 of Snute, so that's a win. But if he just macros from there, but he's making a ton of links instead.
Well, Guru has no Baneling Nest, Todd, so he's kind of forced. Like, he has no Baneling Nest and he has no gas. So he knows that if Snute keeps making links, if Snute would know there is no Baneling Nest from Guru, Snute can just make nothing but links and morph a couple Banes on the other side of the map. And it's almost impossible to defend.
But if there is 3 or 4 queens, you know, it could be in danger. I guess he doesn't really know how many of those there exactly are. So he's just going to get ahead in walkers, which I'm sure, like, when you're Snute, you're really happy when you can achieve that. It's usually his style, to drone up like a madman.
Yeah.
A game of drones 2.0, if you will.
There's a little bit of red in him. There's a couple of Banelings here, though, so Guru's going to have to be very careful. He's actually going to run. No, I won't say his Zerglings up that ramp, which would have been super risky. Just a single link. What Guru is doing is at least that he's forcing out a lot of defensive Banes from Snute. But obviously these Banes don't have to stay defensive. If Snute truly wants, he could start being aggressive with them. Guru actually has a pretty big army, though. It's all in links, but it's a pretty decent army. But you just love early game ZvZ, Todd.
Yeah, it's just links and Banes all over the place here. Guru trying to find some room to do some damage, but Snute still 10 walkers ahead with a way earlier third base.
Once again, the winner of this series will move on to play against Utermo. That is the series that we really wanted to bring you guys. even though both of us play Protoss, we understand there's only one Terran in this tournament. And we want to show him, we want to highlight him, and that is, of course, Thermal.
Yeah, on his path to victory.
Guru is going to be able to get a cancel on this hatch. That's a pretty big deal, Todd. I am actually impressed with how Guru has been handling the last minute and a half in this game, because he doesn't have any banelings, but he's being so hyper-aggressive and actually got a cancel on that hatchery, despite the fact he's playing pure Ling against Ling Bane. Like, what?
Been managing his Lings very well, not letting these banelings get a lot of good detonations so far. And he's actually droning like crazy here behind this. Well, there's going to be a small counter-attack here by Snute, which could be very dangerous. If he gets the cancel on that third hatchery, Snute will be in a really good position. And with that one single hero baneling covering his Zerglings, might be able to get it there, but the Queens are going to reinforce that location now.
Here's the Bane. The one Bane that the old man was talking about. That's actually quite a few Lings though, but the Queens are
if he went for the hatch, he would have gotten it. Maybe even used the baneling.
I felt so as well, but maybe he was worried about all the Queens showing up and just losing the DPS.
Yeah, or even like last-second transfuse can make like a disastrous situation like this actually good.
Yeah, and don't forget, Snute, of course, is down 1-2. So perhaps he doesn't want to take those risks here with his, I wouldn't say tournament life on the line, because there is a lower bracket. This is double elim.
Snute is still looking good here. Ahead in walkers, earlier lair, earlier +1 missile, and roach production starting, which is going to be his comfort zone. Like the only thing that he has later is that third base, but because Guru is taking such a long time to actually saturate that, it's actually quite alright for Snute there. Oh, that one bailing up the ramp, by the way, towards the main. Oh, I'm surprised he sends that down. Yeah, he needs to leave that there. Here we go. Oh, that is so smart to just leave that one bailing there and hope that Guru's gonna go for that. And also like to have bailings down the ramp as well, because Guru probably thought these were the only two bailings that Snute had. So you just wait there and just like that, shut down.
Do you want to see Guru's army right now, Todd? This is 20% of his army. This is 20%.
You realize the supply is all I'm looking at, right?
This
so
is
I knew
20%. The only army that Guru currently has are his 5 Queens. Those Lings he just lost, those were all the Lings. Literally all of them. But he has 8 Roaches on the way. It's actually crazy that we are heading into a phase where both players start making Roaches. But Guru is doing this of 14 more workers than Snute.
I think Snute is just going to go for a +1 timing. He's going to have +1 way earlier. So if you wait until the moment that that finishes exactly, he probably knows that he's got that way earlier than Guru. And then for Guru to hold this, it's going to be really tough.
Don't you feel that every second that goes by right now is a great second for Guru? And by the time that +1 is done, with the economic advantage that Guru has, that he should have enough Queens and Roaches by then? Look at, he's making 8 Overlords, Todd. He's never going to be supply blocked again. We ain't never, ever, ever getting supply blocked again. Snute is indeed doing what you said.
Yeah, but the +1 is so important. Like, if you look at the numbers, in terms of armies, Snute is way ahead. He was always going to hit that timing. I don't think he was going to wait forever. And since he doesn't miss inject, production is going to be about equal. But he started making Roaches way earlier. And right now, Snute has got way more than Guru. He's going to move in there, close in on these Ravagers and take them out super fast.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it here. Snute's going to equalize the score on Newkirk Precinct.
Excellent focus fire there indeed in the end with his Roaches. And Todd, you said it, he's going to go for a +1 timing. I was kind of worried. I wasn't sure if the window was big enough. And I felt with the economic advantage that Guru had, every second that would go by was going to be a good second for Guru. But Snute didn't waste any time. The moment it was done, he started getting his first volleys off and immediately split off a couple of Roaches on the north side, sniped those Ravagers. Yeah. Well done, because if he waits 15-20 seconds, I'm not sure. And I also want to say, though, that I think Guru's macro could have been a little bit better there, because instead of having like 8 Overlords on the way, you know, normally you have like 20 supply free and you make a couple Roaches, then you make Overlords. So his army could have been a little bit bigger. And if it is bigger, then he has more time to wait for those reinforcements, and he's getting more of them as well. But obviously being supply blocked and then making 8 OVs, that's not perfect macro.
Yeah, so maybe not the best macro for a second, but I think regardless of that, he was going to be in a lot of trouble there. Even having to pull the Queens to defend the third base when Snute was attacking it, that might have made him miss a couple injects that he couldn't afford to miss. Yeah. But yeah, that +1 timing was perfect. We've seen it so many times, even from pro players, like they get an upgrade and don't really capitalize on it. No, not Snute. He was paying attention. He was probably looking consistently at that upgrade and being like, I'm going for it. As soon as that finishes, he goes for it and he has more.
Do you also have it when you play games yourself that that is kind of your plan. You're like, okay, once I have 2-2, I'm going for it. But then after a minute, you just completely forget about that. And then you suddenly see an army, you're like, I think I can take this fight. And then you lose everything. And then you hear, upgrade, complete. You're like, oh my God, I just hit the biggest anti-timing. It's going to let Snute.
It happens to me every time, especially against Darren. I'm always like, I'm going to go adepts and then hit this timing just like I saw stats do. And then all of a sudden I'm about to attack and then he has like 4 Liberators and 6 Widowmines. I'm like, where did we go wrong here? I guess I'm not stats.
If you were taught, I'd be watching you play ladder all day.
I think apparently Cyril
he lost?
Won against Stefano.
Okay, he turned it around.
Because it seems like he might be about to start versus TLO.
I don't know who's the...
yeah, Cyril won.
Who's in charge? Are you the admin lobby by any chance? No, you're not.
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were maybe... I don't know who's the boss. Emil, I guess. I guess Emil was in charge. Everybody was ready, but we didn't start the game.
No, Snoot's the host.
Oh, how do you... Ah, yes. Alrighty, so Snute vs Guru, game 5. This is the last match of the round of 16. We're a little bit behind schedule, guys, but this was nice for you people at home because that meant a couple of extra games. You saw a little bit of Utermal, you saw a little bit of Snute right now. And of course, after this, we're going to hop into Utermal versus the winner of this series almost immediately because we know that you guys want to see some Terran action. And TVZ thought is always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's action-packed. But so is this matchup here, starting in the top right-hand side of the map. Playing as the red Zerg, it is Liquid Snute. Snute Skywalker.
Are we going to have the Liquid team kill Todd in the quarterfinals? It's possible. Or is this man gonna ruin the party? For Team Liquid, he is from Poland as well. It is Guru, our infamous Zerg. Has been part of a lot of discussion over the last year and a half, I'd say. But one thing, Todd, is something that we don't have to discuss, and that is that he's a pretty damn good StarCraft player. And he keeps surprising us. Every time you feel like he kind of hit his peak, and you feel like with the way that Guru plays the game, with the limited amount of hotkeys that he uses and stuff, that you feel like he can't really get any better. But oh, he keeps on surprising us. He keeps on getting victories. He keeps on having deep runs in these tournaments. I don't know how he does it, Todd.
There is a little bit of oddness to his style, where he's a little bit hard to read, and he does these unusual things that not too many other players do. I would assume that playing against him often on ladder helps you, because then you can experience some of those things and not get surprised by them when you actually play him in tournaments. But sometimes it's just like a simple timing that he's going to do differently, a little bit earlier, or even throw units at you at a moment it doesn't really make sense, you know, earlier on in the game, which can always surprise anybody here.
You know what I would love to see? Guru against Bly in a best-of-5. Just weird stuff is going to happen in every single game. I can feel that. Feel it in everything that I have. No,
you know, this kind of match, you always think that, but then it's the sickest. Like, they only just go like pure macro and nothing happens. It's like, oh my god.
They both have Lurker, Brute Lord, and they refuse to attack. It's like, what's happening?
Right. Mirror build so far from both players.
Yep, and both players know, of course, where each other spawn as well, where the opponent that is. So
quick third by Guru. See, this is one of the things that doesn't surprise me out of him. Like unconventional things that almost feels like he's basically standard for him. It's almost like Has going proxy Stargate, you know, like you'd be surprised if he didn't do it.
Snute is going to go up to 3 bases over here as well, just a little bit later, but there's not a very big difference. He got a few extra drones out because of it. Now, obviously, Guru should be able to catch up. I do think that Guru is going to be the aggressor here once again. Guru is actually getting his own bailing nest, Todd. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're going to see some crazy Ling Bane aggression coming out of our Polish Zerg. Because I do think it's safe to say the longer the game goes, if we're looking at a 12, 14, 16-minute game, and it comes down to Ravagers, Infestors, I favor Snute. And I think that Guru knows as well that if he wants to beat Snute, that's not the face in the game to beat Snute.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like taking the third base like this is not like something crazy and conventional, it's just the timing that he took it at, it was super fast. Even Snute, after seeing that, like went for his own. But so far still, for the most part, pretty much a mirror, both players going to Lynx and Banes here right now, but Snute, he's been guilty of this many times in the past. He likes to drone a little bit too much at times, so he's gonna have to be careful to make sure he gets enough units on the ground.
He's doing that so far, though, Todd. He's getting 4 defensive banelings. Most of them are ready as well. Look at the minimap.
Yeah, he spots everything that's coming on the right-hand side, actually. All the links, and there's a couple of banelings morphing nearby as well. We saw Guru with some really good micro last game, up until the point his links walk into a baneling that was up a ramp.
A couple of still banes left on the north side as well. Those north side banelings from Snute could potentially connect. Decent connections there for Guru, but it's safe to say that he needs more. That's a massive baneling from Snute.
And so many queens are going to be in position to defend against this Snute with the defense.
Beautiful defense as well. Good baneling positioning, right? He had the right amount of banes as well. 2 banelings over here, 2 banes coming from the main. Guru is going to start working on this hatchery, but I highly doubt that he's going to be able to get the kill.
And Guru's not even making a queen on his 3rd hatchery right now. He's just committing to units and trying to be more aggressive, streaming across the map with everything that he's got.
All these queens are still so healthy as well, right, for Snute. It's not like some of them are low on HP or something. Ooh. There was quite a few links that Snute lost there. He's going to have to be a little bit careful, but there is 1 baneling left, and Snute during all of this is morphing 3 more defensive banes. And the moment that those banes are ready, I don't really see Snute die against links anymore. I think Guru knows it as well, so he's going to go back to droning.
But he still doesn't have a queen on his 3rd base. That's going to make a massive difference. Snute having his queen already there in position and injecting.
The other queens were not doing much for Snute, though. He doesn't have a queen in his main.
It's finally on the way for Guru.
42 against 41 workers, still quite close. Guru is getting a few more drones out during all of this. Snute is going to get a little scout off. Wants to spot how many drones do you have there.
That baneling attack on the left-hand side. Guru's going to set up for it and wait a little bit. Some sick overload out of nowhere heads there. That's going to help Snute see it.
Snute's not pulling his, he's not pulling his drones. Kind of. On the last moment. Decent split there.
Okay, that last one was bad. For Snute here. Not splitting enough, maybe.
Well, that was a good attack by Guru. Guru now 9 drones ahead. But Snute does have 8 drones in the production depth. But Guru still has a couple of additional drones on the way as well.
Lair, way or Lear?
Yeah, no layer for Guru at all. Is he just going to make a hatchery-based attack? Is he just going to make roaches?
No, he's taking gas in main, so... It wouldn't make sense then again for Guru. It wouldn't make sense.
+1 missile attacks. Maybe he's just going to stream roaches, lings, and banes across the map. Try to get the job done. Snute does not have an Evo chamber, Todd? He does. Gets spotted as well. Kind of unfortunate that the link spots that the layer is on the way. If he would have been 1 second later.
Guru taking 2 more guesses. Did he just forget layer?
Yeah, almost perhaps.
No, okay, and here it is. It starts. But it starts as clear reconstitution. Is already on the way here for Snute, so he's going to have that roach speed way earlier than Guru. If he chooses to be aggressive with it, it's going to have a lot of initiative. Always exposed to these Zergling counterattacks, though, and Guru is quite good with those.
Guru is actually playing very well. I mean, he's just making stuff happen, right? It's actually quite hard to be aggressive, especially after the identical openings that both players went for. But slowly but steady, it's safe to say that our Polish Zerg has been finding a couple of openings. 43 links against 31 links, but also the 11 drones. And that's, of course, a big win there. So every Zerg would love to trade a link for a drone. The infestation period, however, is going to be a lot faster for Snute than it will be for Guru.
Yeah, Snute, we've seen in the past, is very, very good with infestors. If he can get those with roaches and ravagers in ZvZ, he always does great with them. In this case, though,
you'd say that Guru could get a couple of overlords here, but
needs to be careful not to rush that too quick and not to die against an attack from Guru, who definitely could be going for one of those. You're already having an ideal drone count so far. Both players just massing units with their current drone count, and Guru being 7 walkers ahead.
Pretty tense moment here in the round of 16 of WCS Austin EU Challenger. It's day 3, but the first day of the main bracket. 16 of Europe's best will be duking it out tonight and tomorrow for $10,000, and of course those 4 important seats to WCS Austin.
Hydra is 10 on the way now for Guru, who, if he doesn't attack and ends up having to face a couple of infestors, could be in trouble. But right now he's just the one being made out of Snute without pathogen glands, so it's going to take a long time before he can finally get a fungal. It's going to have to be a single fungal, Roddy. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, the infestor with the shot, never misses. You know, it's really funny because this season Steph Curry kind of has like a bad season, but it's still going to be like an all-time top 4 performance. But
what's a bad season?
It's like 300 threes. Because he had 400 before. He's ridiculous.
All right, we've got muscular augments on the way now for Guru. Who, unlike Snute, he's just, I think, going to be adding a ton of Hydralisks. I'm a little bit surprised to see Guru, or Snute rather, go across the map like this. It feels like that's actually the plan. Just one single infestor, a ton of roaches, more Ravagers than Guru. In this case, the Ravager counts is 9-4 in Snute's favor.
This seems like a kind of a strange attack, as these roaches are just going to be way out of position. He has to be very careful. A couple of other roaches show up, but this is still only half his army. It's so risky because he knew about that one infestor. Now the other units show up, and maybe Guru can somehow turn this into a favorable engagement.
Oh, Bai lands on his own army here from Snute. He needs to be careful. Steph Curry trailing a little bit behind.
Yeah, Steph is, he's not a young man anymore, Todd. He's wearing his Soldier 76 jacket.
How old is he?
It's like 29, 30 maybe, I don't know. His younger brother is playing as well. He's also very good.
Same age as you.
Well, I'm definitely not a young man anymore. Risky for Snute to go through there. I mean, it all comes down to the engagement, right? But if Guru can keep the Hydras in the back of the army, I kind of like his composition. You don't really see Hydras early on that often anymore. +2 is about to finish up. This could very well be the moment, but this is not the way you want to engage. Fungo lands on 5-6 roaches. All of them will get picked off.
Burrow on the way here for Snute. Tunneling Claws as well. And centrifugal hooks. So he might want to add a bunch of Banelings here to his army to try and blow up huge chunks of Guru's army.
Yeah, against the Hydras, Banelings are fantastic if you can get on top of Hydras.
Getting to them, it's going to be the harder part. Pneumatized Carapace finishes for Guru. That's also going to help his Overseers being a little bit faster.
Kind of a misclick there by Guru. Turns around, ends up losing a couple of roaches. Now maybe he can fight this actually. This is a fight that I think Guru can take.
Oh, the Infestor, no! Oh, he died.
He died. He must have had a lot of energy. That's actually kind of a shame. That's going to allow maybe Guru, with these units being active on the top side of the map, he pulled the units from Snute out of position.
Yeah, with just a small chunk of roaches there. Snute behind his Tunneling Claws about to finish.
What's happening?
If this bite were to land, it will be disastrous for Guru.
Why does Guru have his Hydras in the front, Todd? I'm getting very nervous about this.
He actually cleaned up on the top left-hand side because Snute regrouped with everything.
He's gonna... What? No, Guru, stop, please! That's a lot of dead roaches for no reason at all.
And behind his Snute has a good bank, better than Guru's. He's trying to remax right now with roaches getting the lurker den.
That's sick though. Lurkers are really, really good in Roach Wars. I don't know what the Ravager count is.
Lurkers are really good period. Mass Spore starting here from Snute, who's gonna be going for a massive timing with over 200 supply.
Oh yeah.
It's 212. Not bad.
Can he hit before the Lurker Den is done? He's going to end up losing his fort base here, most likely again. These roaches from Guru do have
Guru's buying himself a lot of time, and he doesn't even necessarily know it, I think. He's just like trying to be aggressive.
Not here, Guru. The other way. It's safe. It's safe on the other side. 33 Banelings, Todd.
Super smart by Guru, by the way, on the 4th base to get a ton of spines, but his main army is going to have to be where he's extra careful. These Banelings are going to roll in.
Snute is like, you want to come? You want to fight? Let's do it. I've got 50 Banes and over 200 supply, and I think this is a fight that Snute will absolutely win. He's not just going to win it. He's going to absolutely demolish Guru. And that was an expensive fight for Guru, who's going to try to buy a little bit more time. Snute, you should go soon. Like, that was as good as it was.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for it now. Even though he's got some units across the map, he needs to regroup and go for the kill here, because there is not much time. If Guru can remax and reach lurkers, Snute could be in big trouble.
+2 armor is starting for Snute as well. I mean, with the lurkers, I really favor Guru's army in the long run, especially since Snute has been having...
He's going to get a full surround here on a lot of this army. Snute comes in from multiple sides. Guru has a lot. Both players going to be trading. Guru tries to escape, and actually a lot of these units are going to get chased down and sniped here. He's down to so few Hydralisks at this point.
Yeah, I think
he's only got 2 Hydralisks left over.
I think Guru just lost a few too many units there, Todd. Attacking into a Snute who had 212 supply and also 50 Banelings. I'm looking at it, Todd. Guru's supply is plummeting right now. He's trying to muster out as many Hydras as possible. He was on 4 bases, Snute only at 3, but I think he just lost way too many units on the north side of the map. Guru has lost 100 roaches in this game against the 44 of Snute.
Forced to pull some drones. Corrosive bites are going to land on top of these guys, and Snute just might have too much. They are reinforcing with more and more roaches. He just never hands. He just has too much.
These Ravagers are not missing a single one of their balls. As Guru says GG in a way that only Guru could say GG. But Snute will advance.
I'm glad you could translate that.
To the quarterfinals. As Snute will go up against Uthermal. Fun 5th game there, Todd. Pretty fun 5th game.
That means we've got 7 or 8 players that we know about for the quarterfinals that have made it there. It's only Black against Austin that remains to be played. Damn. It's going to be Cyril, TLO, Uthermal against Snute, the Team Liquid team kill. There it is, finally. Wasn't in a round 1, but it's going to be there. And then in the lower part of the bracket, Showtime's waiting on Bly or Harstem. Bly up 2-1 right now. And Laser will take on Nurture. Actually, they are playing right now, and Nurture's up 2-1. These guys are not wasting any time. No. King Arthur, he wants to qualify for Austin as quick as he can.
This is interesting as well. We take a look at some of the lower round 1 matchups where Drogo is going up against Guru. Interesting with Drogo playing from Korea. Stefano will get another ZvZ, this time against Nemchar. Same goes for Nemchar, by the way. Also played a ZvZ before. Mana Denver, what are you expecting of that one, Todd?
I'm expecting Denver to deliver for France because we've got 4 French players in losers brackets. That's what's up here. We need to wake up.
That's a lot of French flags indeed.
Just like Jim Raynor would say, let's end this thing once and for all. Let's qualify and win this thing.
Alrighty guys, we gave you like 3 extra games that we were normally not supposed to bring, but we just wanted to show you guys the quarterfinals that we thought was going to be awesome, and that is going to be Uthermal versus Snute. We're going to give Snute a minute or 2 to recover, so we're going to head over to a very small break, and after that we'll be back with WCS Austin EU Challenger quarterfinal Team Liquid team kill.